Olá a todos. Vamos começar. Let's start. So today I have some verbs for you, some of the most useful verbs. We've been doing some before, then we started to learn how to ask questions, and today I want to share some new verbs with you and create some simple sentences. So the first one is the verb to pay, and probably this one you already know. To pay in Portuguese we say pagar. Pagar. It's the same pronunciation as falar, to speak. So when it ends with AR is ar, like pagar. Then the verb to drive we say conduzir, conduzir. To walk is andar. And I have two more for today, to open and to close. So to open is abrir, and to close we say fechar. So I want to show you something about the conjugations of the verbs. We will start with this using like an easier approach and selecting what we are studying. So if you want to say, for example, I pay, what you have to do is to replace this final part and add an O. So I pay is eu pago. Eu pago. So if you want to say I pay the bill, probably you know this. Eu pago a conta. A conta, because conta is feminine, that's why we have an A here. Okay, so we do exactly the same thing because all these verbs are regular. So if you want to say I drive, you do the same thing. You say eu conduzo. Eu conduzo. And if you want to say I drive the car, eu conduzo, sorry, o carro. Then if you want to say I walk, following the same strategy, eu ando. So how would you say I walk on the street? Street is rua. And if you want to say on the, would be literally em a rua. But when we have like on the, in the, or at the, we always mix these two, join them together and say na. Eu ando na rua. Let's do two more sentences. I open would be, you cut the last two letters, replace them for an O. So I open is eu abro. And if you want to say I open the window, for example, eu abro a janela. And the last one is to close. So to close, we say fechar. And if you want to say I close, we do the same thing here. Eu fecho. Eu fecho. And if you want to say I close the door, eu fecho a porta. Okay, so this is probably easy for you to understand because actually most of the verbs in Portuguese are regular. And what you can do is to imagine this structure. I like to call it like person, verb, and word. So if you try to create these sentences with this structure, it's very good because then you can replace the person and say, for example, you pay the bill. So if you were to say you pay the bill, that would be tu pagas. Tu pagas a conta. So this is maybe can be a little bit too advanced if you are a total beginner. And basically you have two options. If you want to study more about the conjugations of the verbs, you can go to our platform and find a document where you have the conjugations organized in a super easy way to find the endings for each person, for I, you, we, them, and so on. Or if this sounds too complicated, you can always start our foundation course, because over there's a shortcut where you really don't need to study all the conjugations in order to create simple sentences in Portuguese. Okay, so I will continue now